of Pearls, and behind the camera I have Chris Adams today. She's helping me out. And today we're going to be going over headbands. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to our Facebook page, Peg had done a progression of beginners videos. You know, the different stitches, and then she went up to a cowl and a twisted headband. So this is going to be exactly the comparable version in crochet. And when we're done with it, you can also use it as the ear saver kind of headbands that everybody is making right now. Personally, I can't sew if my life depended on it, but I can crochet and knit, thank God. So you could crochet up one of these headbands, throw buttons on them, and use your face mask and put the straps around the buttons to protect your ears. Just an option. Or it would be a fun version to cover your quarantine hair, because the Lord knows everybody needs it right now. So I'll see you in a minute. We're gonna review the half double crochet. Welcome back. I was gonna go over really quick what yarn I used and what you're gonna need today for this. I used the soft yak. The soft yak is a little bit of a heavier DK. It is yak mixed with cotton, and it gives it a really nice springiness, because you're going to want a little bit of negative ease on these headbands. So roughly that means you're going to want it a little bit smaller than your dome, so it has a nice tight squeeze to hold your hair and keep your ears warm and everything. You're going to want a darning needle. And also, this is one of my favorite little knickknacks. I got these scissors. They are called Slip and Snip. That's kind of a tongue twister. You slide them right out, and then, if I could do it right, flip them to cut. I'm not as good as some people at breaking yarn, so I like to be better safe than sorry. I got these here when I started knitting, good Lord, probably a little bit over a year ago, and they go with me everywhere. They fit perfectly into little tiny compartments, and they're just great. So anyway, we're going to review the half double crochet. As you can see, I've done several rows. I followed the pattern, which is going to be in the comments. And in this, with this half double crochet, it's really neat because you go into the back loop only, not the front loop. And I'll show you how to do that. And it actually gives you a little bit of an illusion of a stockinette stitch in it, in this ridging. So you're going to take your hook. I'm using a size H. And then you're going to pull out the kind of bagginess that I had, just to kind of save my place. Tighten it around your crochet hook. Now again, with the half double crochet, it's that yarn over immediately before you go through the loop. Now you see on this, there's 3 legs of the stitch. 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Always, no matter what you do, you're always going to be in that back loop only, because that's what the pattern says, and the back loop is going to be away from you. The front loop is basically against your belly while you're crocheting. Again, that back loop is always away from you. So you're going to put your crochet hook through that back loop, yarn over, pull through. So you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Again, I'll go through it slowly. Yarn over, through that back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now, I know I got a little bit of a weird way that I hold my yarn. Just because I hold it this way doesn't mean that that's the way that you should hold it. This has been through, you know, years of aggravation and frustration and tension issues that I've kind of figured out that this is the way that works best for me. There are some people who hold it goofy ways, some people who hold it different goofy ways. What's good for the goose isn't necessarily good for the gander. What works best for you is the best way for you. Again, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over, pull through, and over, pull through all 3. So with this pattern, each end, the last stitch, you do not go through the back loop. You're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go through both legs of the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And what that does is it's giving you a nice flat edge to it. So then you're going to pull it out. I like to leave more than probably necessary because better safe than sorry. Then you're going to go ahead and take your scissors, snip that yarn, push it to the side, and pull through the rest of the way. Now you've got your kind of complete headband. Obviously we have to sew it together, but it's really pretty, really ribbed, and you can see it's got that nice springiness to it, and that's from that yak, or at least that's what I like to think. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take both ends of your headband and you're going to fold them into one another. So you're going to fold it in half like a C. Fold it in half like a C. And you're going to tuck them into one another. So it's going to look like that. So you're going to take your yarn, you're going to string through our darning needle. I probably should have done that before I showed you how to do it. So if you take your hands and you do like this, and then put them into one another, that's how you're going to want to do it with the yarn. I'm only showing you this way just in case it's not completely legible for when you're looking at me holding the yarn. Just do it like that. You're going to take both ends, fold them around one another. You're going to take that darning needle, and you're going to just sew through all 4 pieces. Just the very top. You don't want to go too deep down in. You're going to come back around. I usually make sure that the yarn goes over the top, you'll see, when I pull it. Now, I know that I said earlier that I couldn't sew if my life depended on it. I mean, with a sewing machine, God knows I'd probably sew my hands into something if I tried to sew. Now, it's arguable if I can really do this, but again, come back around, sew through the top of all 4 pieces. Come back around. You'll see that yarn coming back over the top to kind of hug it into one another. Go through all 4, around, all 4, around. One more for good measure. Now go ahead and take a second to run your needle back through to kind of weave in that end. And then you're going to take your end. This is my other end from the opposite end of my stitching. It's actually where I began this entire pattern. Run it through your darning needle. Take a moment. Stitch it through to kind of just tuck in that end, if the needle would cooperate with me. Then run it through to kind of weave in your end. Again, take your scissors, snip, snip, turn it inside out, and there you go. Beautiful little twisted headband. That's good. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you guys want some of the soft yak, please contact us at the store via Facebook, email. It's untangledpearls@gmail.com. Give us a call, shoot us a text message, send us a messenger pony. One of them, we'll get back to you. And happy crocheting.